was on the podium in Duisburg last year. And we're underway in this 5,000 meter final. So as mentioned, 4 out of the 5 who competed in the C1000 this weekend back in action. Valerie Tereta having been victorious, the 5th of this distance, ahead of Malakova of the Czech Republic and Poland's Paulina Rezalkiewicz. Martina Malakova did take silver in Szeged as she split a Hungarian 1-3 with Sofia Kispan taking gold. Borka Zagavea with the silver. Sofia Kispan, of course, will be hoping to go for a world crown in the future after a silver. Back on today's race, Anna Palmer looking for a fast start, but on the outside she'll want to be a little bit wary, not being so far out on the first corner, tiring a little. Certainly a better line on the inside, with Malakova being tagged and trailed by Uwe. So it's Martina Malakova looking to produce a strong start, but 3 of the other 4 competitors sticking with her on this first corner. Malakova, if the number 2 are placing Szeged, looking for an upgrade, and on the silver she took in the 1000 event. Palmer trying to make up some of the time as they come to the first run, having to leave the water, pick the canoe up. Malakova going for the drag. And you can see why this is an interesting addition to the 5,000, because you can really make up some time if you've got a bit more power in the legs than in the arms. And it's French women, Iseline Huet, and a powerful burst away from Malakova. The 25-year-old giving herself a little advantage, although getting into the boat also interesting as the Czech really struggles, Malakova. And almost are coming together as she now is chasing the French Huet. So Huet leading out, competing in canoe marathons. Did pick up a European silver medal Well, that was in kayak. It was a K2 final in 2021. But not so quick in the water as Malakova shows that's where she has the advantage. Ue just keeping tabs on the tail end of Malakova's canoe. Tactics obviously a big part of it, with 5,000 meters to traverse. A little bit hunched, Ue, having to work extremely hard. Malakova hoping that her power and pace over the water will be more than enough as she hunts a golden moment. Now coming into the picture, a sparkling boat of Valeria Terretta. We saw the same shiny canoe of Luzanne, victorious in the C1 200. Hard day out on Lake Malta here in Poznan. Malakova now finding a big gap. Ue starting to struggle a little. Terretta looks primed to try and overtake with Paulina Grzelkiewicz in sight. Very little to see of Anna Palmer. Can Malakova do a little bit better? Doesn't look happy, that's for sure. Clatters against the flag. Ue changing tactics. She's gone for the shoulder charge. Let's talk of Fernando Pimenta. It's one of those struggling with which technique to try once this was brought in to the 5,000 meter. With issues with the kayak and the rudder that the canoeists are not worrying about. Power from Ue again. You can see why it adds a little bit of jeopardy and excitement. Now, how is the dismount? Well, certainly less choppy than it was in Szeged. It's a little bit easier as Malakova just right beside Ue. Ukraine's Valeria Terretta now looking in a good position. A trio, as things stand, favourites for the podium. Grzelkiewicz with a bit too much to do. A bronze at 1,000. She's certainly not giving up. Depends how much energy has to be committed to get back into it, but it's a big problem for Ue. Now she's really having to struggle to recover the rhythm and pace. momentum lost, but for the moment, just keeping herself ahead. Gizelkiewicz as Tereta and Malakova head out. The two who were separated by 4.76 seconds at the 1,000 final. We're neck and neck, but Tereta taking a little lead. Well, it was a coming together. Uwe being blocked out and then clattering with the buoy. So it's the French women having buoy problems. Malakova doesn't look too concerned. She had her line, but now starting to feel the strain of the opening periods of the race. And Tereta looks to have decided to take the race by the scruff of the neck. Sat back, but now starting to really paddle hard, paddle away. Malakova going so tight to the boys. This brings her a little bit closer. Such a long way to go. A real topsy-turvy event. At the moment, the two strongest in the field leading the way. World final in Duisburg, it was Ukraine's Ludmila Babak who represented the Ukraine. 9th overall. Well, Malakova took 5th. Not a million miles away from medal. Tereta just takes her time. I think she'll have seen the struggles Malakova's had on the run. Uwe knows this is her strong point. This is the time to make some up. You get the feeling Malakova wouldn't have been one of those delighted with the involvement of boat running. A couple of boat lengths in the wake of Tereta. Messages from the sidelines, the coaching able to be had. Pretty clean, and that has her in a really good position. Uwe has made up great ground. Malakova getting back underway. Having to get out of the water and drag a boat really does help the spectacle, rather than someone ending up with a huge gap and just being able to keep their stride intact. But for the moment, it's Tereta of Ukraine who is powering away. Happy to sit back and watch what was ahead of her. Now taking the race by the scruff of the neck. Uwe has done well to get herself back in a medaling position. Teretta happy to sit out wide, work her way around. Malakova continuing to work on the inside. Coming into this final afternoon session, Ukraine know that a goal for Teretta would take them above Germany and to third overall in the medal table. They'd still trail the host Poland, given they'd have the same amount of golds, but Poland double the medal haul of China. That mostly thanks to 12 bronze medals that have been collected for the hosts. Birds chirping, Teretta the one flying. Has a little look over her shoulder, just to check her current position. Malakova, though, not giving up the ghost despite more than 2 boat gap. For other competitors, this would be a moment where they might hope to make up ground out of the water. But Malakova has struggled. She's really going to have to get out and have a real go. At the moment, Teretta with a decent advantage. Now, what Canoe do? Her problem is aligning her boat running with her paddle power. Here goes Teretta. Well, had a little pause there. Don't know if she was thinking about launching it onto the shoulder. Instead goes for the drag. Ooh, quick. Out and up goes the boat. Teretta looking calm and collected. Coach on hand. Little grimace, certainly not a walk in the park. Here comes Yue. Does she try and get on the inside? Malakova won't want to get clattered in the head. Really looks to be tiring. Yue going as far as she can to try and get an edge. Malakova having to jump in a bit further back. Ooh, a little bit of a wobble. But currently has put herself into second. Malakova will back herself to overhaul the French and try and see if there's any change to be taken from Teretta. But the Ukrainian looking strong and determined. The 23-year-old certainly enjoying her time out here in Poznan. Last year she left with a bronze medal in the C2 500. This time having the joy in the C1000, and she looks to be ready to double up this weekend here in Poland. Poznan, the 5th largest, one of the oldest cities in the country. Tereta is looking a dead cert for the gold. It's the real battle for silver that at the moment Ue is producing a sensational performance to head out ahead of Malakova. It's not been without its difficulties, but her running power has put her in this position. Malakova maybe just used up too much gas in the first half of the contest. She'll be looking to just keep this calm and collected. Ue just ahead of Malakova. Tereta powered to victory in the C1000 by almost 5 seconds. Malakova second ahead of Paulina Grzelkiewicz. You can see the pole in the far ground behind. No sign of Anna Palmer. As we're coming into the finale of this 5,000 meter race. Certainly looks like Tereta is going to have a much more comfortable victory. And in the 1,000, taking her time, not wanting to make any major mistakes. Ue, though, knows she has to give it her all, just a little bit more of a struggle every circuit. The boat's going to get heavier and heavier, and it's wobbling around. Malakova maybe watching her silver medal hopes burnt away by the powerful running of the French woman. She's got Tereta in her sights. Whether she has the paddling power to make it a much more exciting finale than seemed likely in pursuit of gold. We'll wait and see now. Tereta just being careful, trusting her ability, but Ue may have just settled silver. But it looks unlikely as the bell goes for the final lap. Does seem unlikely she'll be able to reel in Tereta. At the moment, similar gaps from first, second to third. Still fighting is Grzelkiewicz. Experience as much as anything else. Looks like she's had to write her own name on the boat. Decent penmanship, at least. And Anna Palmer. She certainly went out quickly. And otherwise, it's been somewhat of a struggle. She did finish 4th in the 1,000 final. It was over 12 seconds down on bronze of Grzelkiewicz. Still competing hard, the Briton. So there's going to be no medal joy for Palmer or the home paddler. The three up front, locking out the podium. Appreciation of the competitive spirit. Much like a marathon, completing it is a major achievement. Of course, for Teretta, this is her second golden opportunity. And ever since she decided to push on, she has been unchallenged, more or less. Quick look over her shoulder as the second bell rings. Oh, quite incredible to think we're at nearly 27 minutes. The world best time of 20 minutes. Now you can see just quite how incredible that is. Near half hour out on the water. Certainly a physical as well as mental battle, but it's one that looks to have been conquered by Teretta. Wonderful performance though from the boat of Ué. French women really making the most of the time out of the water. Malikova though sees in this final stretch her last chance to step up a rung on the podium. She has Ué in her sights. Little wobble there from Teretta, but she has surely more than enough water in hand. But this is a real battle for silver. But now it's a straight paddling fight. And Malikova, that's where she will feel, despite the tiredness, the fatigue, the mental strain, she'll feel she can still eke out a silver. But it's a sparkling display from the Ukrainian competitor, Valerie Teretta, powering towards a second gold medal. That would be a fourth for Ukraine. Not bad to win 50% of your country's top honors. Ué coming across, just desperately trying to cling on. Malikova, can she make up the very tight gap? And Ué right on the line, I think has done enough for second. But Teretta glides over in the end for a second gold. The World Cup here in Poznan. But what a performance if Iselin Ué has done enough to grab a silver ahead of Malikova, who was 5th in the world back in Duisburg last year. Oh, just trying to cool down. No wonder. She gave absolutely everything.
Number 1, 5, 2.
Just waiting for confirmation. Anna Palmer sticking to it. And all 5 women finishing. Just a wait for clarification, but it looks like Iselin Ué will take a silver ahead of Malikova. But certainly there are zero doubts about our champion. Valerie Teretta, double gold medalist at this World Cup. Terrific performance. And what a day for UE. Second place. She had her wobbles out on the water, but her powerful running has helped her edge ahead of Malakova. Back on home land. Polina Zilovic and Martina Malakova certainly will be happy not to be the one dragging her boat around anymore. Just didn't quite have enough left to overturn the lead UE had managed to create. Provided a dramatic finale to a race well run and won by Valerie Teretta. 7 seconds plus over UE and Malakova. There was just 0.1 seconds between silver and bronze, but a big difference in the colour. That will be round the French women's neck. You can certainly see the competitive dangers that lie out for the competitors battling each other, but also the nature of this 5,000-metre challenge that now the men will take on. World best time from Kurt Kuchela of Germany. How will the men fare after watching the women take on the challenge? So a couple of Polish hopes with Maciej Borgiel, Karolo Krasinski, Ian Ross, Jonathan Jones of the US and Great Britain respectively, Manfred Pallinger of Austria, Dmitry Janchuk along with Victor Sevredyuk hope to be inspired by their country women's performance. And also Uzbekistan's Nurisom Tuktasin Ugli, as well as Manuel Antonio, who was at the meet in Szeged, and Gola's canoe sprint certainly has been a major point of pride, earning a place at Paris 2024. So waiting to get underway, the reigning world champion, Balázs Adolf, not here. He beat out Sebastian Brendel and Viktor Lazunov to the title. But it was the women who got us underway. And a stunning performance from Ukraine's Teretta, taking gold. Veselin Ue with a stunning performance to edge Martina Malakova in the battle for silver.